We reacted to the potential loss of our post office and shop. That happened in the January. We were advised that we were likely to be losing it. Recognising that it was likely to go, we started to do a bit of homework and wandered around the county looking at other good ideas and good practices that were going on. We particularly liked the project at Crossthwaite, which called itself the Exchange.
It was absolutely inspirational to go to Crossthwaite. I was one of 3 people that went down there. There was such an atmosphere in that room that we thought, yes, this is something that we'd like to emulate in our village. It had a very strong identity. They had aprons with Crossthwaite Exchange and tablecloths and crockery that was all of a piece, and it looked really professional, and I think that was important, and we have copied that in Bolton. We have our own aprons. The people who come through the door will know that those with aprons are the ones who'll be serving them today. Of course, you get the answer that I've lived here 20 years, why don't you know me? Which is a little embarrassing, but it just shows that, you know, there are people who've never set foot in the hall.
We started off immediately thinking, well, this has got to be a standalone group, and we also identified a need to be sustainable. Borrowed the Charity Commission model of unincorporated association. We did risk assessments, we opened our own bank account. We formed a small committee. So in terms of the running the exchange itself, then that's down to that group. But the actual events themselves are run by team leaders. We've got 4 teams, and they've probably got half a dozen volunteers that comprise part of a team. They open the hall half an hour before the event opens and set it up, and of course pack it up at the end. More recently, we've actually trained at least one person on each of the teams with food hygiene.
We do good sections of teas and coffees. We also have stationery, cards, local produce stalls, cake stalls. Once a month we have Fair Trade comes in, and we also have a children's corner. What we try and do, say for instance at Easter, we'll set up Easter egg decorating for the children's corner. At Christmas we'll bring the youth club in and they'll do carols. We try and run a trip at Christmas to the theatre, so the people come, they'll have mulled wine, mince pies, and then we'll get the coach to come and collect them and take them.
Well, we do have a monthly newsletter that goes out to every home, but when we're having special events particularly, we have tried to take photographs of those events and get them into the press. So that also filters out into the larger community, so people from other villages would come and see what we're up to and perhaps copy the idea.
We do actually invite outside people to come in, for example, Age Concerned, the fire service. Also, I was involved in the Heart of Eden Planning Day, and one of the things was looking at how do they engage with the community. The likes of the Exchange was a really good vehicle for this to happen, so that, for instance, maybe the health people could come in and do various things within the Exchange, rather than the people from here having to actually go to your surgeries.
As far as insurance is concerned, because it all happens inside the hall, then we actually operate under the insurance cover provided by the hall. But we are distinctly separate from the hall in terms of being a group, albeit members of a small community like this are often double or triple hatted. So in our case, we've got members of the hall committee on our committee as well.
So I think it's important that they get quite a large number of people involved in it right from the start. I don't think it would work to have only 3 or 4 people doing it on a weekly basis. Right from the start we thought it was important to have it every week so that people didn't forget and think, well, I don't know whether it's on today, I won't bother going. They know it's always here. It's like the Windmill Theatre. We never close. We had a week off at Christmas, but that's about it.
As long as a hall is well equipped, then there's really minimal cost. But in our case, we'd got some rather antique furniture, non-collapsible tables, storage that was up and down stairs, and so as a result we decided that what we'd like to do is replace the furniture. Fortuitously, the Eden Local Strategic Partnership offered us a grant of £4,000, provided we did a business plan, and that enabled us to buy a complete suite of new tables, new chairs, crockery, aprons, tablecloths and all such as that. But now that we're set up, then the amount of money that we're taking, which is not a lot of money, enables us to set money aside to be able to replace that furniture should we need to.
Obviously we hold AGMs, and Because the exchange is about the community for the community, what we try to do is we encourage them to come up with the ideas and see how they want to move the exchange forward. It's not for us as a committee to think, right, we're going to do this and that's what's going to happen. It's got to come from the community or they won't accept it.
And so they, if having come once, they might come again, they might get involved in other activities in the village, and that's what we hope.